else's restaurant. Mine is about deadheads. People from Mountain Brook. Same thing. When I'm high on living and my future lies ahead, I want a tie-dyed shirt, a pair of Birkenstock sandals, and a ticket to the Grateful Dead. Well, I call a hotline every day, 1-900-DEAD. When I finally get through to the other side, this is what the dude said. He said, you can't dance, you can't groove, you can't even sway. Leave your flowers, seeds, beads, and weeds, show sold out today. And I said, well, shit. But I wasn't easily discouraged, dismayed, or disappointed, because ever since I'd seen a Deadhead sticker on the back of a BMW in Mountain Brook, I figured there was something to it. Because I went to Inslee, Fairfield, Pleasant Grove, all the Dales, Folkdale, Gardendale, Forestdale, all those. Not one dead sticker on any of them cars. So I'm thinking to myself, you want to be an achiever, you got to be a deadhead. So I called a friend who had a friend who had a sister named Jane. Earned her wings at Woodstock, chanting in the rain. She said, sure, I know old Jerry. I used to date his best friend Paul. You swap me a hunk of that hash you bought, I'll give him a call. And I thought, well, here's my opportunity. Because being into the barter system, I was well aware that I could make an exchange. So I did a little quick inventory in my closet. I had about 6 ounces of really good Alabama grown marijuana. I ain't lying. In the business, we call it diggity, 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 dang, dang stuff. I also had about 58 Lortab, 16 of them Xanax 4-way bars. In case I had a party, I could take some of them Xanax, give it to the girls so they would shut the fuck up. No offense, just part of the show. But there at the bottom of the closet, I had exactly 840,000 pounds of hash. You're thinking to yourself, my God, Rick, where would you keep it? I'm going to tell you. I got a friend down in Selma who owns one of them car crushing companies. I called him up and I said, Bubba, I got 840,000 pounds of hash. He goes, shit. I said, yeah, but I'm having a hard time hiding it. He said, well, bring it on down. So I rented me a tractor trailer rig and a crane and took it on down to Selma. There it was. 840,000 pounds of hash and the size of a small igloo cooler. But I learned this, it still weighed 840,000 pounds. I looked at Bubba, he looked at me, we looked at the flatbed, looked at the crane, took it back to Birmingham. So back to my story, this girl wanted half of my hash. I took out a welding torch, cut it in half. Left me with exactly 420,000 pounds. Using my uncanny sense of memory, I remembered the other sticker I saw on that BMW in Mountain Brook said 420 on it. I said, this is like some kind of message from God. I called her up, made the deal. I had a glass of wine before I came in, I'm going to tell the truth. So about a week later, in my mailbox, marked with them little dancing bears, there it was. My ticket to Grateful Dead, and excitement was back. So I filled up a VW bus with gas, put my best dashiki on. I rolled 45 joints of real good grass, left the best belt for my mom. Said goodbye to Dad, pat the dog on the head. I was on my way, Hampton, 3 days away. When I'm high on living and my future lies ahead, I want a tie-dyed shirt, a pair of Birkenstock sandals, and a ticket to the Grateful Dead. Perfect time for a drum solo. Unfortunately, I was on my way to the concert event of my lifetime, and excitement was abound. So I pulled into the parking lot. It was a sight to see. They had carrots, tofu, peanut butter, pita bread with cheese. I met a sunshine rainbow butterfly, Abby Hoffman's niece, and a girl named Janet Planet offered me some LSD. I thought, well, shit. Being from Selma and all, I want to expand my mind. And my mom always told me this: how would you know you don't like it if you never tried it? She was talking about asparagus or something. I just equated that to be perfectly fine with her, so I said, all right, I want to try me some LSD acid. So the girl goes, hold on a second. About 15 minutes later, she pulled up in a dump truck, lowered the back of the dump truck, and inside on the bed of the dump truck was one sugar cube. Turned out her cousin owns that car crushing company in Selma. She had taken 36,000 hits of LSD and compressed them into one sugar cube. Besides the fact that I thought she was actually pretty crafty, I still wanted to try the LSD, and I said, well, how would I ingest it? And she said, well, just jump up there and give it a lick. Like Mom said. So sure enough, I jumped up there in the back of the dump truck, slid my tongue across the sugar cube, and I guess I ingested probably about 8,000 hits. Because for about 10 years, the only two words I could utter were, oh shit. People say, Rick, did you have fun at the concert? Oh shit. How you feeling? Oh shit. But after a while, I looked around at the concert and I was like, it's pretty cool. After I repeated over and over, peel me on a banana, I started getting all right with this. I looked around me and I figured out one thing that's important in life. White people can't dance worth a shit. That's a fact. I'm going to give you one sample right here. I call this swatting bugs out your face because they ate too much acid dance. Perfect segue. Like I said, white people and dancing, not so good. But after a while I began to hop. I couldn't stop, thought I was going to drop. And I kissed a cop. Well, it was early Sunday morning when I found myself in jail. I had to hawk my ticket just to get my bail. So when I'm high on living and my future lies ahead, I want a tie-dyed shirt, a pair of Birkenstock sandals, and a ticket to the Grateful Dead. I want a tie-dyed shirt, a pair of Birkenstock sandals, and a ticket, I miss you, Jerry, to the Grateful Dead.